trading. So basically, carry trading is a typical long-term trading strategy. It's quite a simple and good way to make money. Let's start with the introduction. The carry trading, actually it's all about interest rate arbitrage. We are going to make profit from interest rate differential. You know that some currency profit from a high interest rate and others like euro or USD, yen profit from a very low interest rate. So the principle of carry trading is all about this interest rate differential. Principle is to borrow cheap and lend expensive. Basically on the forex means that you are going to sell low interest rate currency like euro, USD, yen, and buy high interest rate currency. Could be the rand, the Turkish lira, the ruble, and also you will see. Here is a list of some rate depending of the currency. Let's start with the USD. The American dollar profit the rate of 0.25%, so it's very low. On the contrary, the Brazilian, which is the real profit from a very high interest rate, 11.25%. The euro now it's 0.05%. The yen 0.1%, very low. The South African rand, the rand is quite high, around 6%, 5.75%. And finally, another example with the Turkish lira. Turkish lira profit of 8.25%. So as you can see, interest rates are very different depending of the currency, depending of the economy of the country. Usually, emerging countries profit of a very high interest rate differential. Turkey, South Africa, Brazil, Russia, China. And on the contrary, very developed country, which unfortunately have a quite flattish economy those days, have a very low interest rate, like USA, Japan, Europe, and others, even Swedish. Swedish, which is a very developed country, as you can see, his rate is 0. There is no interest to invest in this currency. So, about carry trading, you have to differentiate two kinds of currencies. The first category, funding currency, which are low interest rate currencies to be borrowed, to be sold, and usually they are part of major currency. It's yen, USD, euro, Swiss franc. Those are the funding currencies. And the other categories, carry currencies, high interest rate currencies to be lent, so to be bought, and usually are part of emerging currencies and exotic currencies. Some example, the Turkish lira, the Brazilian real, the rand, the ruble, and the New Zealander dollar. Here are some examples. Pairs adapted to carry trading. USD ZAR, so dollar rand, the interest rate differential is 5.5%. So this pair, USD ZAR, can be a very interesting pair to process a carry trading strategy. Another example with USD Turkish lira, once again a very wide interest rate differential, 8%, and finally, the most interesting in my opinion, the Euro Turkish Lira, which profits from a very wide differential, 8.20%. So those pairs can be adapted to manage carry trading. Here is a daily profit formula. Just an example, if you short one lot of USD Turkish Lira. The formula is quite simple. Interest rate of the currency length, so Turkish Lira, minus the interest rate of the currency borrow, so USD, divided by 365, number of days in a year, and multiply by the volume. One lot, you know, it's 100,000, so multiply by 100,000. So basically it's 0.825 minus 0.0025 divided by 365 multiplied by 100,000. Here is the result, 21.91. So basically, if you sell USD Turkish Lira, if you sell one lot of Turkish Lira, you can generate a daily profit in positive swap. You know, the swap is the interest rate differential. Can be negative, so if it's negative you have to pay it, but if it's positive you are going to make profit from it. So in this example the swap is positive, so if you sell one lot of Turkish Lira you can generate a daily profit of $21.91. But this strategy has some limits and some risks. Let's start with the limits. Currencies are traded with large spread. Emerging and exotic, unfortunately, have large spreads. For example, with GKFX, the euro, the pair euro Turkish Lira has a spread of 10 pips. So if you compare with major like Euro USD, it's quite wide. So this is one of the limits. It's risky. It's risky because of the high volatility. You know, USD Turkish Lira is quite volatile. Another example which can be a good idea is the pair USD Rand. The volatility is quite high compared to majors, but not as high as USD Turkish Lira. So USD ZAR can be a good balance between volatility and positive swap. Another limit, the leverage is limited. Usually on this kind of pairs, emerging and exotics, the leverage is around 150 or even 25. So it required a very large capital. And another limit, the last one, it's only for long-term trading, long-term strategy. So if you want to process a carry trading strategy, you have to wait usually more than 1 month. It can be 2 months, 3 months, etc. Now about the swap. I was talking about the swap, you know, could be negative or positive. So when you are processing carry trading, you are interested about positive swap. So I'm going on this sheet that you can find on gkfx.com. Okay, on gkfx.com there is a list of all swaps. An example with Euro Turkish Lira. Here you can see if you sell Euro Turkish Lira you can profit from a positive swap of 60 Turkish Lira. So it represents around $27. Let me check again. So 60 divided by the rate which is 22. Yeah, 22. So if, for example, if you sell one lot of euro Turkish lira, you can profit from a positive swap of $27 a day. It's daily. Huh? Another example with USD. USD Rand. Here you can see the swap is positive. If you sell USD ZAR, you can profit from a swap of 100 rands. Another example with USD Turkish lira, but this time it's less interesting than euro Turkish lira. It's only 45 Turkish lira. For euro Turkish lira it was 60. So in my opinion, just my opinion, and by the way, I used to process this kind of strategy. Sometimes I'm selling USD ZAR and sometimes euro Turkish lira, depending of the opportunity and the exchange rate. Okay. So I think now you understood the interest of carry trading. It's a good way to make money. It's quite simple, it's quite mechanical, but it's a long-term trading strategy, and I know that some of you prefer short-term trading strategy, daily trading or swing trading. So now it's up to you, depending of your expectation, of your trading style, etc. So now the next webinar. So next week, we are going to talk about trading psychology. You know, psychology is very important. It's one of the most important thing in trading. You have to keep the control. Okay, so it will be next Tuesday at 6:30, depending of your country. So now if you have any question, don't hesitate to send them through the chat.